In this video we're exploring the top 10 mountains to visit in Switzerland. From breathtaking alpine panoramas over glacial landscapes, towering summits and crystal clear lakes to adrenaline-filled adventures, the Swiss Alps offer some of the most spectacular mountain experiences on Earth. Strap yourself in and let's discover the very best of Switzerland's legendary peaks. Hello everyone, in today's video I'm showing you the most beautiful summits here in Switzerland. Well, not exactly this one here, by the way, that is Mount Jungfrau, but just the one a little bit next to it. We're getting started with number 10, and for that we have to head to central Switzerland, to Säntis. Let's get started with one of the most famous summits of Switzerland. This summit is certainly a very special one. You'll be literally standing on the border between the Alps and the flatlands of Switzerland. There are two ways of how to reach the summit. You either travel through Säntis and take the gondolas, or you enter one of the steepest funiculars in the world from Alpstein. The gondola offers more privacy, you can get out at Frankmündeck to have a quick break, go on a hike or try out the zipline park. The last gondola is a steep one, but taking you within a few minutes up to the very highlight. Having arrived at the top station, you'll be at Pilatus. There are a few shops and even a hotel. Outside at the first balcony, you will see the many summits of the Alps. Until mid-June, these will be covered in snow. There are two peak platforms for you to visit. The first one is at the eastern side, and that's the actual summit of Mount Pilatus. From there you have a breathtaking vista over Lake Lucerne, we call it Vierwaldstättersee in German, Mount Rigi, the Bürgenstock, where the Peace Summit was held in 2024, as well as many other famous summits of the Swiss Alps. And now you clearly can see the stark contrast between the flat parts of Switzerland and the Alps on the southern side. This fascinates me up to today. The platform is at Oberhaupt, that's a really nice one too. Here you can get a better impression of how steep the drop is. Otherwise, the view is quite similar as on the platform on the summit of Mount Pilatus. There's also a big cross at where you can take some photos, and you can also spot the gondola how it's heading up or down. At the balcony you often will encounter groups of elder people who are invited to entertain the visitors through playing alphorn or yodeling. This is even cool for us Swiss people. Then do not forget, pass by the caves that you can reach from the top station, you get some beautiful impressions. Furthermore, from Mount Pilatus you may even go on a hike, however only once the snow is gone and the trails are again safe. Number 9 is also located in central Switzerland, but we have to change to the canton of Obwalden. We continue with another international favorite. For that, you have to make your way to Engelberg and then take 3 cabin rides. Already, the first ride will be quite spectacular, especially if there has been enough snowfall. Having arrived at the top station of the first cabin ride at Trübsee, I suggest to continue first to the top. The third gondola will be quite fun as it's a rotating one. On the summit, you're on roughly 3000 meters. There will be a couple of things you can do. You can walk through the ice cave, it's small but certainly worth it. Then you can go for lunch up here, and definitely you have to get outside to enjoy a brilliant panorama over some of the most beautiful summits of Switzerland. Only 5 minutes away from the top station is the cliff walk bridge. That one is quite thrilling. It's good to stay up here for about 1 to 2 hours. Afterwards head back to Trübsee where I can go for snow tubing. I have to say, that's really fun. That's really something you need to try. My friend Ita and I, we really had so much fun in here. It's included in your ticket, so no need to pay extra. I would say it's best to come here during winter, but the Titlis is an attraction to be visited during the entire year. Number 8 is located in the canton of Ticino. That would be the Hausberg of Lugano. Preferred warmer? Then this is the ideal mountaintop for you to visit. Spend a nice day in the city of Lugano, then head to Paradiso to access the funicular, taking you up to 912 meters above sea level. With that, this summit is the lowest one among these top 10 mountaintops of Switzerland presented in here. The ride is going to take about 25 minutes. Arrived at the top station, you need to hike for about 5 minutes to access the viewpoint. From there you get a nice vista over the city of Lugano, Lake Ceresio, Gandria, the Italian enclave of Campione with its ugly casino, as well as the dam at Melide. You either can head again down to Paradiso using the funicular, or you can continue hiking to the villages of Carona and Morcote. Talking about the prices, a return ticket costs you 32 Swiss francs, half-fare card or GEA, they're valid to get 50% discount. We're continuing with number 7, and for that we have to head to the Alpstein. We're ascending the highest peak of northeast Switzerland. Mount Säntis is located in the Alpstein, which is one of the most beautiful sections of the Swiss Alps. The mountains are quite rocky in here and they have a very unique shape. The Säntis can be best accessed from Schwegalp in the canton of Appenzell-Ausserrhoden. It's about 30 minutes away from the beautiful city of Appenzell, which is great to be combined with a visit to the Säntis. The ride costs around 60 Swiss francs, the price varies between high and low season. With half-fare cards or other railway passes, you can save 50% on your ticket in here. The cabin takes you up in less than 10 minutes. At the top you are on 2,600 meters and you get one of the best panorama in all of Switzerland. No joke. So, depending on the weather, you can see up to 6 countries. Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, Italy and even France. To my knowledge, there's no other popular summit in Switzerland that offers you such a great view. Besides the 6 countries, important to mention is the view down to the Seealpsee, Lake Constance, we call it Bodensee in German, and the Kurfürsten. Mount Säntis is great to be visited during all year. Personally, I would say the best time is during spring and autumn, when the lower parts are green and the summits are covered in snow. Number 6 will be only one kind of a mountain. That one will be the highest station that you can visit in all of Europe. From the lowest of these top 10 mountains to the highest summit on this list. We start in the wonderful village of Zermatt. Now this trip will take quite some time. You have to plan in for about 70 to 90 minutes only to reach the summit of the Kleinmatterhorn. For that you need to take a first cabin to Furi, change to another one to access the Tolkener Steg on 3000 meters. This cabin ride is quite long, but you get nice impressions of the Matterhorn and the surrounding Alps. The third gondola from Tolkener Steg will take you up to 3,890 meters to the highest station in all of Europe. At the Kleinmatterhorn there are a few things you can do. First, enjoy 360 degrees panoramic view over the Matterhorn, Zermatt, the Swiss and Italian Alps. You can clearly see that you're on the ridge of the highest mountains within the Alps. Take this corridor to head to the Glacier Paradise to access one of the largest man-made ice caves. In here you can see various sculptures carved of the ice, showing you typically Swiss motifs, like the traditional making of the cheese and the fighting Ehringer cows. Do not forget to access the backside viewing point, walk a bit in the snow, but bear in mind that up on nearly 4,000 meters the air is thin and it might be quite tiring. Also go for a drink at the Star Bar, the highest located bar in all of Europe. It's by the way only open when there is good weather for the whole day. Talking about that, the Kleinmatterhorn is often not accessible. When there's strong winds during rain or snowfall, the cabin up to the summit is not operating. Usually it can go up to Tolkener Steg, but even that is not certain during windy conditions. Should you be in Zermatt, there are many other things you can do. For that, check my ultimate Zermatt winter travel guide. The Kleinmatterhorn is closing after 3 p.m, so make your way up here early, best not later than 12 p.m. We're now moving to the upper half, the best mountaintops that you can visit here in Switzerland. Number 5 is located in the canton of Valais, but in the French-speaking part, for that we have to change to Verbier. This is another summit that takes quite some time to reach, well, depending from which side you're ascending. The long version starts in Bani. It needs 5 gondola rides to finally reach the summit. If you travel from Verbier, then you'll save quite some time as you're only requiring to take 3 rides to reach Mont-Fort. If you want to be efficient, travel from Verbier. If you want to enjoy more beauty, well then travel through Bagne or Verbier. Especially the first gondola ride up to Verbier, that one is so beautiful with the arrival at the village. At Gentiane, that's where both of the ways are going to join. Here you need to take the last cabin. By the way, that one only operates until 3:30 p.m. Having arrived on the summit of Mont-Fort on 3,330 meters, you'll have one of the best 360 degrees panorama in the Swiss Alps. You can spot various important summits: the Weisshorn, Dent Blanche, Matterhorn, Les Dents du Midi, as well as Mont Blanc in France, the highest summit of the Alps. Also consider riding the highest located zip line in all of Europe. In over 1,400 meters, you will certainly gain quite some speed and have one of the most thrilling adventures up in the Swiss Alps. The summit and the zip line, they're basically open during all the year. I, though, still prefer coming here during winter. On your way back, also have a quick break at Verbier for an après-ski, which is really fun. Number 4 is not far away. That's certainly the most unique and probably peculiar mountaintop that you can visit here on this list. I'm technically presenting you 2 summits in here. To access the attraction, you'll have to make your way up to the Col du Pion, at where you have to take this gondola. Traveling from Les Diablerets or Gstaad is possible. After this first steep cabin ride, you need to change to a second one to arrive at the top station. Then you have to climb these stairs and another stairs to finally arrive up on the summits. Given the fact that you're up on 3,000 meters, you certainly will feel the climbing of the stairs being more challenging than usual. Up on the summits, you'll be on this bridge, which is considered one of the most popular attractions in the Swiss Alps. You get a brilliant view over the Swiss Riviera with Lake Geneva, as well as the Alps of Vaud and Valais. You can also spot the French Alps. Even Mont Blanc is visible from here. A ticket to Glacier 3000 costs around 90 Swiss francs. You're eligible for a 50% discount if you have a half-fare card, a Swiss pass or any other special passes. Glacier 3000 is certainly a very unique attraction. Up to this day, the Peak Walk is the only bridge in the world that connects two summits. Before we're heading up to the podium, I'm really interested, what do you think about this video so far, and also which of the summits are you going to like the most eventually, so please let me know down in the comments. Maybe also share your experience of the summits that you've visited, and if you enjoyed this video until now, then please give it a like, and you're also most welcome to subscribe. Alright, we continue with number 3. So I told you that you cannot visit the Jungfrau, but just the one on the left side of it. Well, let's go and explore that one now. I'm pretty sure most of you have been waiting for this attraction to be listed. The Jungfraujoch is one of the most popular tourist attractions of Switzerland and one of the world's most known summits to be visited. Similar to the Mont-Fort, you have two ways of how to get up there. The fast way through Grindelwald and the beautiful long ride by traveling via Lauterbrunnen. All in all, you need to count in about 60 to 90 minutes to reach the Jungfraujoch. If you travel through Grindelwald, you either can take the train, which takes quite a bit, or use the Agro Express gondola, which will take you straight up to 2,300 meters in about 15 minutes. From Lauterbrunnen, you need to take about 1 hour to reach the Aletsch Glacier, where both ways join. Arrived up on the Jungfraujoch, you'll be on the top of Europe, the highest train station on the continent. You first will have to walk for about 5 minutes, and then take the lift to access the world-famous platform Sphinx. The view up there is phenomenal. You can see the great Aletsch Glacier, the largest glacier of the Alps. You also can spot the Eggishorn, the Schildturm, Kuhn, Interlaken, and so on. There is quite more than only the Sphinx. Proceed to the panorama platform to stand in snow. For those who are not familiar with snow yet, that might be your first experience touching it. The view from there is also nice, although the view from the Sphinx is certainly more impressive. A must is also a visit to the ice cave called Glacier Palace. You first will walk through a glossy ice tunnel and then reach a hall full of sculptures. There are various typically Swiss motifs and even have the perfect top of your photo spot in here. The ticket up to Jungfraujoch, I have to say, it is expensive, so it costs around 230 Swiss francs. However, you can benefit from a 50% discount if you do have a half-fare card or a general Swiss pass, we call it GEA. The Jungfrau region tickets, they also cover this attraction. It's valid for all the attractions in the region for the number of days you purchase this ticket for. That might be a cheaper option if you anyway stay in this area. And our number 2 is basically just a little bit behind the Mount Jungfrau, but it's already laying in the canton of Valais. Over there you probably can enjoy one of the best panoramas in all of the Alps. Just face off the Jungfraujoch is this rather unspectacular mountain. Not many people talk about this summit, but in my opinion, up there you get one of the most impressive panoramas. From Fieschi you need to take 2 cabin rides, one to Fiescher Alp and another one up to 2,800 meters. Once you've arrived, you'll stand in front of this majestic glacier, which is the Great Aletsch Glacier. On this summit, you're basically right at the bend of the curve of the glacier, which makes this view so fantastic. The Eggishorn is great to be visited during all year, but honestly, I do prefer it during summer or autumn, as then the glacier is nicely exposed and you can go for various hikes. Take the gondola up to the Eggishorn, hike down to the Merielensee, continue further to the glacier to see it from close. During the summer months of July and August, on every Friday you can go for a sunrise trip. You need to book that in advance and that's going to cost you 68 Swiss francs. So first you're going to ascend the summit in the dark and then you'll watch the race climbing the Alps hitting the Eggishorn while listening to live outdoor music, and I have to say, that's quite an experience. If you just want to come up here for a regular visit, well, then the Eggishorn ticket is going to cost you around 50 Swiss francs. It's by the way also great to come here during autumn, that's during September and October. Then you can benefit from the Herbstsonne ticket, which covers all rides and one lunch for one day in the Aletsch Arena. I have to say, that's quite a great deal. During October, you might even be lucky to experience cloud inversion and enjoying a rather serene mood up there, with less people. Before I'm going to reveal you the number 1, here are a few top honorable mentions. Mount Rigi, the Gonnergrat, Espace Weisshorn, Harder Kulm, the Niederhorn and the Rothorn. Alright, now let's continue with our number 1. For that we're going to change the canton of Appenzell. I'm going to show you one of the most dramatic panoramas that you can enjoy in all of the Alps. I previously presented you Mount Säntis, now we head back to the Alpstein. This summit is in my opinion one of the most impressive to visit, but you really have to earn it. You need to prepare for about a 1 hour to 90 minutes hike to reach the summit. For that you need to start in Wasserauen and take the gondola first to access Ebenalp. Then you need to hike for a longer distance up to Alp Cluse, which will take you about 45 minutes. Always check the views, you will see the Hoher Kasten, Lake Constance in Austria, or you can even look down to the valley. The impressions always keep changing. The last bit is a serpent hiking trail until you reach the guest house. There I suggest you have a quick break, grab a lunch or dinner. The specialty up there is Rösti. This summit is known for its incredible sunsets, especially in August and September. You can stay overnight at the guest house so that you won't have to hike all the way down again. See the red and orange glow on the Alpstein mountains, which I love to call Swiss Dolomites. It is really beautiful, but I also want to share with you, in here now flying drones is strictly forbidden since the year 2021. And please respect that because they're going to be really heavy fines. Now coming back to the sunset, I think that was probably the best ever and I just experienced it up on this mountain. Well, not only are the sunsets breathtaking, even the sunrises, they're often spectacular. You also may hike up here in October, there is usually a good chance for cloud inversion. Then you might not see Lake Constance, Bavaria or Austria, but it's still very impressive. You feel like you're standing above a sea where the mountains are the islands. If you want to know more about staying overnight at a guest house, for that I have a separate video. So many great mountaintops that you can visit here in Switzerland. Now if you want to watch any other top 10 video, then I'm going to see you over there. And if you're more interested to know how to best plan for a trip to Switzerland, well, then let's meet in this video.